Hello and welcome to the English Box. Today we're going to talk about auxiliary verbs. So what is an auxiliary verb? If you look at the definition underneath the table, you can see that an auxiliary verb is a verb that is combined with another verb in a verb phrase to construct tense, interrogative, negative or conditional forms of the verb with which it is combined. So for example, a tense form with an auxiliary verb could include I have eaten breakfast or he will arrive a bit late. Here the auxiliary verb in the first example, I have eaten breakfast, is used to place the sentence in the present perfect. Similarly with the auxiliary will, it is used to place the sentence in the future. When we use interrogatives, question forms, then we have to use the auxiliary prior to the subject and the main verb. So when do you start work? The auxiliary here is do for a question in the present simple. For regular verbs in a negative form, we also need to use auxiliaries in all the different tenses. So I don't have time this evening. Don't is the auxiliary in negative form for a present simple sentence. Condition, we use the auxiliary would, or we can also use could, might, or may to talk about a hypothetical situation. And we can also introduce ideas of mood. So here we have the example, the homework must be finished by tomorrow. This is an obligation. We can also use modals such as can, should, and might to express mood, and these modals can function as auxiliary verbs. Auxiliary verbs can normally only be used with a main verb. So if we look at the examples in the table, the first example says I have eaten breakfast. Here the auxiliary is have and the main verb eaten. She can't go to the meeting. The auxiliary can with the main verb go. The office was built. The auxiliary to be with the main verb build. He will arrive. The auxiliary will with the main verb arrive. And they shouldn't speak. The auxiliary should with the main verb to speak. However, there are some circumstances, some situations in which we can use the auxiliary verb on its own without a main verb. And today we're going to look at some of those different circumstances. So number one, we can use the auxiliaries to avoid repeating ourselves, to avoid repeating the same words in a sentence. So for example, George is currently on holiday, but Robert isn't. The second example, she could meet me later, but she won't. And the third example, I've never been to Barbados, but Jonathan has. You can see in brackets we've continued the sentence to show you what you could say, but it makes it more efficient and more natural if you avoid using the main verb again. In the second example, we also use the auxiliaries to give a short answer. So we have the questions, do you like chocolate? And the affirmative answer, yes I do. Have you seen Thomas lately? No I haven't. And did you watch the football match yesterday? No I didn't. So you'll see the first question is in the present simple. And to answer in the affirmative, you need yes, and then the subject, and then the verb do. Yes I do. The second example is in the present perfect. And you have to respond to a question in the present perfect with yes I have or no I haven't. The third is in the past simple, and here you have to respond with yes I did or no I didn't. So the auxiliaries always have to correspond. And it's very important to learn to correspond the auxiliary in the response to the auxiliary in the question or statement preceding the response, because you can use it in many different situations in English. Number three, to deny what someone says. So if someone gives you a statement with which you don't agree, then you can use the auxiliary as well. Your parents are rich? No, they aren't. You've stolen my pen? No, I haven't. And you don't like John? Yes, I do. Okay, moving on to the next slide, and two more situations in which we can use these auxiliaries without main verbs to show interest or surprise in the conversation, to help the conversation flow. I went on holiday to Jamaica last year. Oh, did you? Did you have a good time? I'm not feeling at all well today. Oh dear, aren't you? What's wrong with you? So here we have the auxiliaries used in a question form, simply using the auxiliary, positive or negative, and the subject. Finally, number 5, to express agreement with the speaker, either in positive or in negative. I'm feeling really good after that exercise. So am I. Another way of saying me too. I'll write the essay tomorrow evening, so will I. So again, we can see that we use the word so, and then we match the auxiliary to the auxiliary used in the preceding statement, and then the subject. If we use a negative form, or if we agree with a negative statement, then we have to use neither or nor. So I don't often go out at the weekend, neither do I, and I didn't watch the television last night, neither did I. So we have the first sentence in present simple, and the second sentence in past simple, and the auxiliaries correspond to these tenses. So as a review, at the bottom we have two sentences. The auxiliary verb in the response has to correspond to the auxiliary verb used in the preceding statement, and when agreeing with negative statements we can use neither or nor before the auxiliary and the subject. So let's try some exercises now. This refers to the first point that I talked about, and you have to complete the sentence with an appropriate auxiliary verb. So have a look at the sentences, decide which auxiliary should go there, and then I'll show you the answers. So here are the answers. Number 1, I really love full English breakfasts, but John doesn't. Or he doesn't love full English breakfasts. Are you both going to school tomorrow? I am, but James isn't because he's ill. So I am going to school, but James isn't going to school because he's ill. You never stop talking. Yes, I do. Yes, I do stop talking. Yes, I stop talking. John said he was going to do his work this evening, but I don't think he will. I don't think he will do his work. And do you think I should apply for the job? Yes, I think you should. Yes, I think you should apply for the job. So how did you do? Did you get all the answers correct? I hope so. Moving on to the next exercise, we have 8 different sentences, and you have to show agreement and disagreement. So the first one is done for you. I work hard, so do I. And the disagreement, I work hard, do you? I don't. Or simply, I don't. So, look at the tense, decide which auxiliary verb should be used, and then answer the questions. So here are the answers. So you can check through the answers and see if you've got them correct. I like tennis, so do I. Or do you? I don't. I didn't watch the film, neither did I. Or didn't you? I did. I've never gone diving, neither have I. Or haven't you? I have. I'd like some cake, so would I, or would you? I wouldn't. I'll do the homework, so will I. Will you? I won't. He wants to be in charge, so do I. Does he? I don't. And I can't go out tonight. Neither can I. Can't you? I can. Okay. That brings us to the end of the class. Thank you for watching, and if you'd like to see any more videos, come along and check out our website at www.englishbox.co.uk, and we'll see you again next time. Bye bye.